Welcome back. Okay, today we are taking a look at the Crusades, or the series of holy wars between medieval knights in Europe and the Muslims in the Middle East. Okay, so when we take a look at the Crusades, and we are talking about the causes for the Crusades, we have to go all the way back to when the Seljuk Turks, who were Muslim, gained control of Palestine. Right? From there, they were able to then attack the Byzantine Empire and threaten to overthrow Constantinople, or Christianity's capital in the East. Remember, Constantinople was the heart of the Byzantine Empire, which evolved out of the eastern half of the Roman Empire. Okay, it was a Christian stronghold. So when the Seljuk Turks began to literally knock on the door of Constantinople and threaten to overthrow the empire, the Byzantine Empire looks to the Catholic Church for help. So he calls up Pope Urban II, rings him on the phone, and says, "Hey, I got a problem." Right? And Pope Urban says, "How can I help?" The Byzantine Empire says, "I would really like your support from the church to gather the knights throughout Europe to help support me to defend the Byzantine Empire and to defend Christendom against the Muslim Turks." Okay? Pope Urban says, "Let me see what I can do." So he calls a meeting together with the feudal lords throughout all of Western Europe. And he says, "Hey guys, listen up. Instead of using our abilities to fight and kill each other, why don't we join sides and fight for the good of Christendom?" Okay, let's fight for God and for the Catholic Church and unite together to defend our Christian empire against the Muslim invaders. Okay, so he basically releases this cry for unity amongst all of the knights throughout Europe. And naturally, the knights throughout Europe buy into it. Okay? So Pope Urban says, "Wear the cross of Christ on your shoulder or back, and with one voice cry out, 'God wills it, God wills it, God wills it.'" Basically, he gives these knights the ability and the okay to take their weapons and march across Europe and kill anybody that gets in their way. Okay? He basically gives them that forgiveness of sin, because murder was a sin, right? This forgiveness of sin to say, it's okay, I'm telling you that God wants you to do this. God wants you to protect this. So what do thousands of knights do that like to practice their battle skills? They gather up their armor and their weapons, and they march off to the Byzantine Empire. They march off towards Constantinople, and they are bound and determined to get rid or kill anybody that stands in their way. Okay. When this happened, the Christian knights were told that going off on these crusades or going off on these holy wars were a way to save your soul. Okay? If you do this, you are guaranteed to be saved. You have eternal salvation. You are giving your life to support and defend the church. Okay, so they said if you die on this crusade, you will automatically go to heaven, right? One-stop shop. Knights also hoped to gain wealth and land throughout this process. Okay, and then merchants sought an opportunity to make money. So you have trade towns that begin to develop and boom throughout the Mediterranean during this period, because you have thousands of soldiers that are marching through that need to buy goods and services and food. Okay? So merchants have this opportunity to now increase their wealth, so they buy into this whole crusade experience. But most importantly, knights want to go on these crusades because they want to seek adventure and spiritual gains. Many of them had not been 5 miles outside of their local town or village. Now they had the opportunity and the blessing from the Pope himself to travel thousands of miles and basically wreak havoc and do whatever they wanted to do throughout all of Europe in the name of God. So, What this is going to lead you to is your Crusades activity. And so if you take a look at your Crusades activity, okay, you have a series of placards or things that like short informational pieces that you are going to read about each of these different crusades. Okay, so when you are finished watching this video, go ahead and open and download the Crusades activity. Again, you're reading through each of the topics and you are writing down one paragraph to summarize the importance of each topic or each crusade. So what happened on each of these crusades?